welcome to That's a Thing, Accent Core. It is episode .84 on 8/3. That's right, it is August. Also, I have a question. Why are we still calling these Accent Core if it's not, like, swear encouraged anymore?
I don't know. Because I don't think once they hit 100, I'm Kevin, also known as Rayla. Because I think once we hit 100, it's not going to be 1, so I need to have a subtitle to move to.
A second subtitle?
Yeah.
Nolan. Maybe it still keeps it kid friendly, or keep the kids away at least.
Yeah, that's true. Kids don't like subtitles. Or well, I don't know. I did like subtitles. I always like the subheads of a movie.
I think we're not in that range though.
I like subs better than dubs.
I do like subs better than dubs. But yeah.
But speaking of Accent Core and Guilty Gear, they put trailers out for Leo and the other new guy, whose name I cannot remember.
I'm just going to call him Black Samurai, and he looks like he's a Samurai Showdown character.
His name means, like, the last snow before spring.
Oh, that's cool.
And I just call him Dread Samurai.
He looks like he has some kind of blood mechanic where he gets charged up every hits he gets.
Yeah, I like that all of his hits feel powerful.
Yeah, he actually reminds me a lot of Hakumen from BlazBlue.
Yeah. All right, I gotta bounce for a bit. I'll be back probably.
All right, that's cool.
Listen, I'm just happy because those are probably going to be the two characters I play the most of.
I would like to try Black Samurai because he looks cool. And he looks slow, which is kind of, in my old man times, I need the character where it's 1 or 2 big hit. I can do that.
Yeah.
But I can't do mini hit. Mini hit, no good. Drew's having some issues because he's been moving. And we'll talk about moving when he gets back. Because I have stories about moving. What have you been up to, Nolan?
Nothing. I got a corona test just to be safe.
Ah.
Because I wasn't feeling too well. Negative, so that's good.
Oh, that's good.
But I've spent the last 2 days just inside.
Yeah.
Once again, tried to watch Scoob. Could not. That movie's like a wall. I don't know what it is. I'd give up. I don't know. It's at this point, can it defeat you? No, it can't.
You gotta, cause I can't.
Here's the problem. I've been defeated before. And that's from Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, I've been defeated many times. I was defeated today. My dad and I were gonna watch a kung fu movie, but I think we were deceived, and it turns out it was actually a Chinese romantic comedy. But you couldn't tell from the trailer. So I was like, oh, we bailed. It wasn't great.
Oh. You haven't tried HBO Max, have you?
No. Right now, I'm the only thing I'm sitting on is Netflix for my subscriptions. And basically my dad has Amazon Prime because he uses it, and then we watch it. I watch it with movies. Also Andy Griffith, because that's on there. And I have Netflix for me, so I can watch cartoons.
I will. That's actually one thing I did. I watched that new Transformers anime.
I want to watch that. It looked pretty good. How is it? It looked like the kind of...
So, first episode, it's all right.
Yeah, because it reminded me of the style, because I think it's called Battle for Cybertron, but those Battle for Cybertron games, which I always thought had a really cool look.
Yeah. It is the War for Cybertron.
All right.
I think.
Yeah.
It is canonically in there.
Where I always liked it because the Transformers still turned into cars, but they looked more alien robot car and less like a semi. And then you had some cool
with
stuff.
A Mack truck.
Yeah.
Riding around a big robot planet.
Do they do the thing I think the game did where because they were robot trucks, they could strafe and had like boost and stuff, so you'd see like little jets kind of come out of the side of Optimus's like trailer and give him like a dash boost when he's in car form? Because I always thought that was cool.
They do have like little jets on the thing, but I haven't seen strafes so far.
Yeah, because I was like, man, that's pretty cool.
I love those games, so I was really excited about this. The only like weird part of that show is I don't know. It's got this like weird part of humor. I don't know how to explain it. It's not like it's bad or anything, but it's like Optimus goes up to a robot and is like, "Hey, do you want to join us?" And he's like, "No way, I'll never do that." And they're like, "Oh well," and everyone in the group just laughs. I'm like, "Huh?" Like, what the fuck is going on?
It kind of like you don't want Optimus Prime to be kind of this douchey dude bro kind of thing. He's supposed to.
I don't like it. I don't think Optimus Prime cuts jokes.
No, that's the whole point is that Optimus Prime is just like I the mantle of leadership, and I must defeat the Decepticons. Optimus Primal. No, that's a joke. Optimus Primal jokes around.
No. So it's also like the apocalypse on Cybertron, and they're all like cutting jokes and having fun. I'm like, that's weird.
Well, that can segue into the show I've been watching about the apocalypse.
What have you been watching?
And cutting out. And I've been watching. At least I've seen the first 5 episodes on Netflix of Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beast, and that show is sick. I really like it.
Oh. Yeah, I've heard good things about that.
It's great. I would say it is a kid's show. Like, it is definitely a kid's show, but I mean that in a complimentary way, where this is the kind of show where if the kid is graduating to Y7 material, you'd be like, this is a good one to show. And you'd be like, oh, look, there's characters. The action sequences are good. A little simple, but that's the target audience for kids. I really liked it though. It's really good. The premise is basically a girl named Kipo. She lives in a vault, or they call them a burrow, in a post-apocalyptic world. And through shenanigans, her burrow has been maybe destroyed, and she's been kicked onto the surface where there's a bunch of mutants and kind of other random survivors going in around. Kind of like Fallout. I would say it's like Fallout, but instead of like grim 1950s, it was Ben 10 Omniverse, where everything kind of looks like a Ben 10 apocalypse, where it's still colory and kind of nice. It's neat. The soundtrack is super good. It has a nice hip-hop chill beat soundtrack, and I like it. Apparently, the Jizza of Wu-Tang Clan voiced a character in the last episode I saw. He was an astronomy wolf mutant who talked about the birth of the universe. It was sick. I loved it. And yeah, so first 5 episodes, I can highly recommend that show. I don't know. I think it's on season 2 that was released last month, but yeah, that show's great. That's what I was dealing with. I like Kipo. I'm probably gonna watch more of it. It's not as bingeable as Dorohedoro, but I think that once again is more because I'm a man child and not an actual child.
No, I fucking just devoured Dorohedoro.
Oh yeah, I know. I watched that sucker in like 2 days. I watched half of it one evening and half of it the other. But this one, I'm more like watching an episode or 2 a day. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's my chill out before I go to bed show. It does the thing I really like where each title sequence is at least so far something in universe. So, for example, they have like a big monster tracks, and then the puddle like in the water kind of forms the name Kipo, and you're like, oh, okay, I like that. I also just randomly, because I did draw the comic about the video essays, I watched Jenny Nicholson's Anatomy of the Last BronyCon video, which was really fascinating. She just made like 2 hours of Brony, the birth and death of the Bronies, and I felt that was a pretty good video.
That's the last BronyCon?
Yeah, because apparently in 2019 it was the last BronyCon because, well, I think My Little Pony ended the year before, and then attendance was down, so they just said, screw it, we're going to do one final one. And that's when all the people showed up. I don't know.
Wait, what's the name of the person that made it?
Jenny Nicholson.
Okay, yeah, she's at the very top.
Yeah. She does a lot of Disney theme park and Star Wars videos. Her theme park videos are very good. Her videos where she just kind of does a weird book review reading, not too good. Not her best. But when she's doing stuff like, here we're going to talk about this random, the Avatar land at Disney World for 40 minutes. I'm like, no, that's a good video.
I'm an idiot.
What?
When you said Avatar land, my mind first went to The Last Airbender.
Well, of course. Well, that's one of the things.
And I'm like, oh no.
That's one of the problems and fascinations of Avatar Land at Disneyland. Kind of just thinking about it is, it feels like that was the thing that was signed on, like in 2012 or whatever the movie came out. And then Avatar, because like I understand it, like that movie made so much bank, and there were probably backroom deals, and they're like, "Yo, we want to have Avatar Land because people love Avatar." And apparently, no, people did love Avatar, but immediately fell off of it. There's no Avatar fandom.
Well, there was a time where they're like, "Oh, we're gonna speak Na'vi," like it's.
Yeah, like
something like what?
I think people were gonna have like Na'vi, like I don't know. I watched Avatar. Maybe it was because if you saw it on 3D, it would have had some bigger influence on you. But when I watched Avatar, I just thought it was fine. I didn't think it was. Like, I don't think Avatar is a bad movie.
No, I literally went, huh. That was a good movie. I might watch it again sometime. And that was it.
I think it had some failings, or maybe that's just me of being the nerd guy, where when you have the Catman aliens versus the cool robot suits, my brain always goes for the cool robot suits, even though they're blatantly evil, because those
They have to get that unobtainium.
Yeah, and it wasn't great. But the robot pulled out a big old knife, and I was like, yeah, I'm in. I love it.
Man. I'm like, robot win.
I'm like, go robot. Don't be the bad guy. Robot is good guy. And it was like they kept doing that terrible army sergeant. I remember I was like, man, this army sergeant sucks. But then James Cameron couldn't help himself and made him do something really cool where the army sergeant man just like walks out in the poison gas, holds his breath, and starts shooting at the Na'vis. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. He hates them so much he can't be bothered to put on a helmet. He must kill now.
And he like holds there for like a couple seconds, like, all right, hand me a mask.
Yeah, I was like, that's cool. You can't don't make your evil guy where I'm like, oh man, he's cool. Don't make your evil army man cool. Or else people like me will get the wrong will say like, maybe you should have just orbital bombarded the planet.
Yeah.
It was interesting in her video where she was talking about how it has this really unintentionally colonialistic Disney-esque tone, where in all like the decorations and stuff, you'll see pictures of like the Na'vi with people, but in the actual theme park there are no Na'vi or no animatronics or anything, so it gives this feeling that they just wiped everyone out and said, here's our alien forest world. And I'm like, that's kind of amazing. It's like, I don't think that's intentional, but it's really cool.
A kid asked where the Na'vi is. Like, oh, well, they're in here in their special Na'vi area.
They're in their reservation
for them. Or their little Na'vi reservation for them to have fun in.
But you can buy your special Na'vi headband in the Na'vi because
here's a piece of their. Go ahead.
Yep, and it's one of these things where, like, because the Na'vi are loosely based on like, it's Native Americans, so all of the merch kind of has that vague tone. Like, it's not Native American merch, but it has the feeling where, like, the girl she had, I think it's on like our Twitter, where she's wearing, it looks like a Native American headband with the little Na'vi cat ears kind of on it. She goes, "I'm conflicted about this." And it's unintentionally fascinating. Apparently, the original thing was Animal Kingdom was supposed to have a fantasy world where it was supposed to be dragons and stuff instead of being Avatar with the Na'vi.
They just had a movie where they could have done that.
Yeah.
Was Onward.
Yeah, or it's supposed to be with dragons, and one of the roller coasters is supposed to be going to like a castle, and there's like a dragon there. And apparently on the benches, some of the engravings still have a dragon from pre-production. And it may be, so this is what I was thinking of is, okay, you're a theme park. You want to have a themed area addition to your theme park. The rules are you can't have something that's already there. So you can't say Nintendo because Nintendo's already happening, right? So my question, and this is what I've been thinking of, is what land or zone would you add to a theme park? Like if you either Universal or Disney, if you could just say, yo, we need to have X world that could support its own theme park. What would it be?
Ooh,
So if you need some time to think, I'll just blather on.
Yeah, one that I kind of just threw up in the back of my head.
All right.
Which is a pretty obvious one, which
will
probably happen
ask
one
the
day.
question again.
Ask it again.
Okay, so the question is, because I've been watching Jenny Nicholson's videos about Avatar, James Cameron Avatar theme park, what theme park would you add to either a Disney or Universal Studio, a Six Flags? What themed area would you add? And if possible, or you want to do the extra credit, what rides and attractions would be there?
Okay, I think I got one of mine.
All right, just spitball it, because go for it.
So, this is an obvious one. Fallout.
Okay.
World.
I did not think of Fallout, but yeah?
It would be like a 60-70 area in the park.
Oh, I kind of like it as so I'm going to kind of go on yours. Imagine Universal Studios has their anti-Tomorrowland park and it's Fallout. So if Tomorrowland is kind of like the 40s and 50s, like what they think the future is, and then you have Universal's Fallout, which is the decayed remains of what that future is. I'll dig it.
Okay, I've got one.
All right, shoot it. Lay it out.
Okay, so they're already in Florida, right?
Yes.
So my idea is it would be Dreadland, and really it's just the park opens up and you're just walking around a Florida neighborhood.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's just like the horror of post-apocalypse. I like it.
Yeah, it's just the horror of Florida.
That's an interesting one. See, mine was I wanted Dungeons and Dragons and or Magic the Gathering, because theming, you can have all these weird themes, but also it works as generic fantasy for people that don't know. So you can just have like, yo, there's a dragon and some wizards. And people are like, yeah, I like wizards and and you can have like your merch could be, you can have some wizardy stuff, and you'd be like, oh, they get the treasure. I was like, yeah, I could see that. I also thought of what was one of the others I was thinking of?
I just thought a good one.
All right, go for it.
It'd be Dark Souls Land.
Oh, I like it. I was all
people will eat that up because you could just revamp any fantasy land.
Yeah, and it would be because you could have like Estus. That's your drink. How the Harry Potter land has butterbeer. You have your Estus flask and like the little. You pay $20 and they fill up a decorative thing with Sunny D, and you're like, oh man, this is sick.
Pay like $30 for any sword that's out there.
Oh yeah.
You'd have people in armor.
Yeah, you have like character meets, and all the character meet and greets are just people saying cryptic things in armor. You have a sad man sitting next to a bonfire. It goes, ring the bell, and you'd hear it ring off in the.
No, you see a big crowd, and you're like, what are they surrounding? What is it? And it's just Solaire, and he's doing the sign.
Yeah, the praise the sun. That's your T-shirt.
And he's sitting there doing that like 12 times, like every hour on the hour.
Yeah, because
they just stand around and clap.
Because time flows differently in Lordaeron. I also thought of like World of Warcraft. I think that could work.
Lordaeron's in place, but there's no clocks in the area.
Exactly.
Warcraft would be really.
I think Warcraft would be good.
I'd say Warcraft or like
Thunderbolt Fantasy.
Thunderbolt Fantasy is interesting. Maybe a bit too ethnic. That's but I was also thinking like it'd be cool. To me, I was thinking like if Disney wanted like their Animal Kingdom, but not Animal Kingdom, I would have loved Monster Hunter. I think that would have been cool. You could have like a animatronic Rathalos. It's sick. I've just been really on like a theme park binge. I've been watching a lot of Defunct Land. I think it's because I feel like theme parks are never going to happen again. So I have to, like malls.
I want Dolly Parton Land.
Yeah. The Dolly Parton add-on to... Yeah, I want the Dark Souls edition to Dolly Parton's Dark Souls. That'd be sick.
No, I want Labyrinth.
Appalachian.
I want David
section.
I could be down with a Labyrinth or like a Muppets. Apparently that was the old Defunct Land thing where the Muppets were supposed to be... There was supposed to be a year where the Muppets took over Disneyland and everything was rebranded Muppets. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
So Drew, have you seen Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beast?
No.
It's sick.
I almost feel like I have, but then I don't think so.
If you've seen a Netflix show on Netflix that kind of looks like Ben 10 Omniverse, and it's called Kipo, and it's I would say as so far at least 5 episodes in, as good as Ben 10 Omniverse.
I've heard about it. I just haven't seen it.
I watched like the first 5 episodes. It's sick. It is a kid's cartoon, which means it's a little basic, but it's kind of supposed to be because it's for kids. It doesn't make it bad though. The characters are good. Sometimes a joke misses, but you know how it'd be.
There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
Could we also get into not Evo news?
Oh yeah, we talked about like the there was the Soul Calibur character, which is Lady, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, she's in 3 or 4 already. I think she's in.
I think it was 3. She feels like Zasalamel and her were 3 characters that I'm like never showed up because I think I played 4. I did not play 3.
Wait, which one had Yoda and Darth Vader?
4.
Then yeah, I think she's in 3.
3 was like the PS2 exclusive one that I never played.
Yeah.
I played 1 and 2, never played 3. I played 4. 5 had Ezio, and I own 6. That has 2B that I bought. I bought that DLC. It's like the last DLC I've bought. Yeah, so she's doing... Tekken just said Tekken Season 4 is coming.
Yeah.
A lot of them just been like, yeah, season blah, 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 or whatever's coming. But no big reveals.
I kind of don't blame them. COVID kind of put a stop to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also Samurai Showdown and Soul Calibur are both getting an umbrella lady.
That's true. The umbrella sword's pretty cool. I like a good umbrella sword.
Yeah, a good lady snowblade is always good.
Yeah. Always nice. Soul Calibur Land? Would that work? I don't think there's a ride opportunity.
See, I think that one works because it's already eternally retold. So every day being the same, they could rip on it.
And that would be a place kind of like you would take the old Waterworld stage show out of Universal and put in a Soul Calibur one. Where you could have like some cool wire fights.
I feel like I'm done.
Like you could do like that. I could see like that. I would see what else? What other things did I want a theme park of?
Oh,
Nier.
All about like
Nier would be cool. Final Fantasy
Nier stage show.
Final Fantasy actually would be kind of cool. Like if you had like a Final Fantasy world where you could see like a big chocobo, some black mages. Really, what I'm talking about is Final Fantasy IX, the best of all Final Fantasies. But we know it would be Midgar. Like that would be the world.
Yeah.
I think Final Fantasy is a whole amusement park, and then you have different subsets of it that are the different Final Fantasies.
Oh, that would be cool. Pokemon theme park would work.
It'd only be like 3 other Final Fantasies besides 7.
It would be 7, 10, and then the MMO.
Yeah.
No, you forget 9.
9, I'm not sure how popular 9 is. It feels like everyone on the internet is like, I love Final Fantasy 9, and I love Final Fantasy 9. I have a VV sitting underneath my TV. Yep. But I don't know how popular that is with the general public. I feel like I know 7 is the most popular.
Well, no, as far as like Final Fantasy people are concerned, then it is 9 is well beloved amongst Final Fantasy fans.
Yeah, but I feel like 7 is well beloved among everyone, including Final Fantasy. Like I like Final Fantasy 7.
Oh, let's be honest. It would be Final Fantasy 7 land and Kingdom Hearts land.
Oh no, I'm wrong. Oh, Kingdom.
You just had that right on Disney.
Oh, that's why Disney effed up. They should have done Avatar. It should have been Kingdom Hearts. It should have been Hollow Bastion or whatever. Like they
Square.
Yeah. They could have called it the Golden Saucer or Traverse Town. No, you called it Traverse Town. That's what you do. Oh, because then you can have that sick Traverse Town music kind of being played in the background as you're walking around. And your rides are... And the merch is already there? You can
also...
They already have the sea salt ice cream.
What, Nolan?
So they already have the sea salt ice cream.
Yeah.
They're halfway there.
Yeah. You
can also just have whatever characters showing up there that you want for the day.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. It'd be so low maintenance because it's like, oh, you want to meet with Minnie Mouse, and everyone's like, yeah, sick. It's Queen Minnie. Got to talk about the darkness. You can have Mickey and just put like a trench coat, like a hood over him, and have like, I need to talk about the darkness and those princesses of heart. Oh man.
Sarah.
Do you want to be a Keyblade master?
God, you just sell those Keyblade stores like you sell those dumb lightsabers.
Oh, it'd be make your own Keyblade.
What's the Christian Bale movie where he's like in the army and they find like a government dossier in Vietnam? Any idea what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name.
I do not know.
So okay, there's just like some
exactly what you're talking about.
YouTube. There's some guy on YouTube I keep finding videos where like he's taken basically a movie and just has animated Mickey and Goofy into those scenes.
That seems pretty good. That seems pretty.
So just hearing Goofy say, "Look me in the eyes, Mickey."
Mickey.
Okay, Rescue Dawn. That's what it is.
I'd imagine Pulp Fiction has probably been done. Like, I mean, that's what I would do. Like you make Goofy say, "Do I look like a bitch?"
I would. Okay, so it's no longer there because it died. But I'd bring back the Waterworld stage show.
Yes.
At Disney.
Oh, that'd be sick. It's at Universal Studios, Waterworld. Never forget.
Yeah. Gone but not forgotten. Always in my heart.
Yeah, I think. Like, I was thinking about One Piece. I think you could have, like, a One Piece land, and that would be sick.
You can already go to Tokyo Tower and get that.
Yeah, but
at least shortly.
Yeah,
it's closing this year.
That's why I didn't want to do it, because it was too there. Like, it's already ended, or it already existed in some form. Oh, it was because I was thinking about other fantasy fantasy things that could be in amusement park, and one of them was The Witcher. I think like a Witcher world would be cool. You have like a stage show.
Just replace Harry Potter world and make it Witcher world.
Yeah, you get your own little Witcher medallion. Drink some tawny owl potion.
So, real talk, the like most practical one, the most feasible one I can think of would actually be like the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Like it has to have that level of like appeal. Like cuz it has to have, but it has to have a time, you're right, cuz it has to have a timeless appeal. That's what I was thinking about the Dungeons and Dragons / thing, because fantasy castle with dragon is always going to work. Where James Cameron's Avatar was weird when it announced. Like, when that thing opened, it was already weirdly dated, and it's like, what?
Yeah. It's nice that, like, The Wizard of Oz has so many instantly recognizable set pieces.
Yeah. What about Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Oh, that would work.
And I mean,
keep Tim Burton away.
No. That's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Which one is is Willy Wonka the good one?
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Willy Wonka is about Charlie. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is about Willy Wonka.
Okay. I will say for my Tim Burton Charlie and the Chocolate Factory hot take, I liked two things about that movie. I liked the beginning where they had the puppet show and then all the puppets caught on fire and it just kind of stopped. I thought that was good. And I kind of liked the subplot where Willy Wonka's dad was a dentist that hated him because he made candy. I kind of liked that idea. I didn't like how it was executed. Let's get that out of the way. But as an idea, I'm like, it's kind of interesting.
There were pieces that were good, but not the whole thing.
Oh no, there was some, like, what I mean is I think there are some things there, but that movie I think is overall a disaster.
I look forward to like 20 years from now when they try to remake Tim Burton's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Well, they'll have to. No, they're going to remake Tom and Jerry go to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with CG Tom and Jerry.
I don't get that movie at all. Like, how did they come up with that movie?
I think it was purely to keep the rights. I believe that was like Warner Brothers or something had the rights to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So what they did is they pumped out a direct-to-DVD video with Tom and Jerry so that they had the rights. So that it's like the Fox Fantastic Four. Yeah, it's the Fox Fantastic Four movie where you just crank it out so I keep the rights to it.
I'm still...
It's the Uwe...
You watched Fantastic?
Nolan.
I've never seen the new one.
Oh, okay.
I watched the old one.
So, hold up.
Okay.
I want to talk about Fantastic.
All right, let's talk about it.
And I want to talk about how Reed Richards should have been black instead of Johnny Storm.
I agree.
Yeah.
I like Black Reed Richards. I think it works.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, because that movie's weird. Now I'm thinking about it.
Or Stu should have also been black.
Yeah, that would have been okay.
I think you're wrong.
Like, yeah. Oh, okay, Drew, you can talk about moving before we forget and we start getting...
Okay, did we ever bring that up? Did I ever bring that up to you guys?
What?
We had the conversation about Fantastic Four?
No.
Was it about how the Thing should be black?
Yeah, but he's like asphalt instead.
Okay, I'm interested. Go on.
He's like dark asphalt. That's him.
Yeah, you're... No, I like this idea, Nolan.
I do like this idea. However, I think it's fraught with peril.
I would also...
I would have turned that into a blaxploitation movie.
I could also accept, like, volcanic rock.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. He changed his name
but
to, like,
then
Obsidian.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be classy.
But when he's normal Ben Grimm, he's just, like, black as fuck.
Yeah, of course.
So, he's real dark.
Does he have a rock afro?
Yeah.
Like, I want him to look like Rock Shaft. Like, I want him to have, like, the afro and, like...
He's got rock dreads.
Okay, so rock dreads.
I think you're fine.
I
think that might be too much. Because Ben Grimm is just bald.
Yeah, I do like the rock dreads, but then, like, you get the issue of, does his dreads keep growing back? I like the bald.
I could see he has a flat top.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'm with you better, just bald.
I like the bald, but I like an idea if what Drew was going where he's made of like obsidian glass, so he looks real smooth. Instead of like craggy, like Ben Grimm, like he looks really smooth, so you can't really tell like he's rock at first. You just see like this like obsidian man, and you're like, oh no. But he's still huge. He's still like crack, like instead of like the crunch of the rocks grinding together, you hear like this kind of tinkling glass as he's moving. Oh man, you could have like, do we give him like glowing eyes? I'm imagining basically glowing red eyes.
No, I give him normal eyes.
Okay, so you want like normal like eyeballs.
Yeah.
Like the Thing. So he still has like eyeballs and stuff. Okay.
He's still the Thing, he's just darker now.
Okay, because
I actually like that idea of like that like clean sheen.
Yeah, like
instead of like looking all craggy.
Yeah, like
that looks a lot better.
Yeah, like I like the smooth, because it's the idea where I like the idea where Black Ben Grimm, where like he gets where like his horrible transformation, but he somehow pulls it off really well. And everyone's like, "Damn, he looks good. He looks cut. He looks even more cut than normal." Because it's like, oh, they cut him out of granite, and he's like, "Yep, exactly." His voice somehow gets lower, and everyone's like, "Oh man." Whereas like regular Ben Grimm's like, I'm a monster, and all the ladies look at Black Thing and are like, yeah, I'm kind of digging it.
Like Black Thing.
Yeah, he's the big black thing. Okay.
I think it's enough of that tangent.
That's enough. We're gonna get back on to moving. Drew, how's moving going?
Moving sucks. It's been both like me moving and my partner moving at the same time.
Oh,
Kelsey, tell them about moving.
Moving sucks.
Exactly.
Moving sucks.
I hate moving. I hate it. I get all tired. It's sweaty, and then it's always taking things apart, and stuff gets
hitting couches through doorways.
Well, yeah. Well, I always feel like movers have tricks to it. I feel like every task that has like labor involved with it, physical labor, there's a trick to it that cuts the effort down by like 75%.
So Kevin, they have 3 tricks I can tell you off the top of my head.
Yeah.
One is you move the heavy things first.
Yeah.
2 is you have a dolly.
Or those harnesses.
And 3, the most important trick of all, you just have muscles.
Oh, okay, so I mean, in addition to muscles, but what I mean is, like, whenever I saw like a mover, like I've had movers move stuff and I've moved stuff, and the movers, what they'll do is they got real good at disassembling and reassembling things, so they don't have to carry as much. And I was like, huh. Where I remember I tried to do that, and I just like felt like I was gonna die because I just tried to, when I was moving an ex-girlfriend stuff, where I was like, okay, we're gonna take the mattress off, and then we're gonna take the bed frame, and then we're just gonna pick it up and move it, and I got all sweaty and terrible, but the movers they just do it immediately, and then one of the mover guys
again, Kevin, muscles.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so this is one of my emasculating moments, or demasculating, whatever. So when I was moving into my apartment and I had movers, one of the legs on my bed like broke before the move, and my solution was I just kind of put magazines under it because I couldn't fix it. So when the movers were like, they set it up and they're like, oh, you see, this thing's like broken a bit, but we can tell you how to do it. All you gotta do is put like some joint in there, get 2 wood screws, and you screw it up. And I had to nod and go like, yeah, that's good. Like I wasn't just gonna put more magazines underneath to fix it. I'm like, no, I just put magazines. I don't use hammer.
This is where we might differ, because when you guys are saying like, oh, moving sucks, I thought it was like, oh, you must have to do a whole bunch of extra stuff. I've never thought moving sucked, and I've done it multiple times within like the last year.
So that's because you have strength. You're not a skeleton animated by Mountain Dew.
So in my defense, also I do not have muscles, but if anytime I help someone move, it rains.
Oh, that makes it worse.
And also moving 2 separate apartments is extra terrible.
Oh, okay. So, Drew, has it been like the monsoon season out there where you're at?
Yeah.
Okay, because
in undisclosed East Tennessee, Southern Appalachia territory. Yes.
Yeah, because I think I've just said where I live many times, but I just try not to, if need be. But anyway, yeah, it's been the monsoon season. I had to do a handyman thing with my apartment because the basement started leaking because near the front door or whatever, near the gutter, it had been monsooning so hard that the mulch started to go away. So I had to dump more mulch.
Away from the foundation?
Yeah, so I had to dump more mulch around the apartment, because I couldn't explain that to the groundskeeper people. Also, at my dad's house, they just had this pile of mulch, and I just said, I'm going to just take some of this and just dump it on my apartment. and it worked out. It's working out fairly well. The damp spot is retreating.
That's good news.
Yeah. I had to.
Is it both like you're moving out of your place and they're moving out of their place, and you guys are moving in another place together, or are you just moving from one to the other?
So I'm moving out of my apartment to a new apartment.
Yeah.
She is moving out of her apartment to a separate new apartment.
Oh, so it's a double.
Oh.
It's the double.
It's a double move.
Never mind. That's even worse. I take that back.
Yeah, that's bad.
You got it tough, bro.
Yeah.
That's a bad one.
Kelsey, tell them about moving.
Moving sucks.
Okay, so I remember. So this is a story. This is real. So I was dating a girl way back in the long ago when I still had enough hair to attract women. I was dating a girl and she moved. And it was miserable, but I helped her move, and I remember it was agonizing. I hated it. I was tired. It's sweaty. I cried at least twice. And then I remember it was like 2 days later. She goes, "Yeah, I'm thinking about moving again." and the argument that started from there is what led to the end of the relationship. Like, that was the beginning of the end. Was my reaction of horror and indignation of no, not again. Like, you're living in this apartment for at least a year, possibly more. That's where it began. This is a true story. Because I was not having it. I'm still not having it. I still feel justified. I'm like, no, you don't do that. Don't do that.
That's 100% justified.
It was like 2 days later. I remember that's why I was so like, no, like, oh yeah.
Did she not like sign a lease or anything?
Well, she did, but she was like, well, I mean, like it was. It was some stupid thing like. She was going to move in, and then she had a lease for like 2 months or something, but then her sister was moving out, and she goes, well, maybe I can move into her house while they're selling it, and then just move back, and I was just like, no. Like, my brain just died. I'm still upset. Now I'm cranky. All those feelings are coming back. I thought I'd buried them. I was like, no. Oh.
There's the anger.
I'm still peeved about that. I'm peeved about many things. I'm peeved about many things about that relationship. But
she's certainly no girl who liked drugs as her favorite video game.
No, that was good enough to be a comic. And that was a good comic. It's my favorite. One of my favorites. No, oh man, that one was I still don't, other than that, I don't have bad things to say about that girl. There's some bad implications I could make, but I'm not a bitter man. Or am I a bitter man? Oh.
I think you're a little bit.
I wouldn't say you're a bitter man.
I'd say I'm more like a mocha.
You're like not quite a dark chocolate bitter.
Yeah. Or there's a little bit there. There's a little bit underneath the surface that could come out as a raging inferno of just being peeved. But yeah, I don't like moving. I really don't.
It sucks.
More specifically, it's not you don't like moving. You don't like moving stuff.
Oh, I don't like moving myself. I would be like, if there's some way to get into the Matrix, just plug in my brain in there and then be like, yo, I don't have to move ever again. Or like WALL-E.
Psychopaths?
Yeah.
Get into the give up machine.
Yo, the WALL-E give up machine seemed great. I'm like, yo, I'm down. Just get in that chair. That's sick. Love that chair. Have robots. Man, that's like the time of my life. Actually, no, I like even me. I don't think that's what quarantine has taught me. If anything, where there is bare minimums of socialization and going outside that even I am like, I need to do. Otherwise, it's just bad.
No, look, I've been quarantined for like 3 days, and I'm already like, I kind of wish I could go somewhere.
I highly recommend going for a walk. Just go for a walk around the neighborhood. I don't wear a mask when I go for walks around the neighborhood because no one else does. And also because...
But see, Kevin, if you do wear one, then you get to feel superior to those.
Well, see, because I like inside, I get it, because I'm around people, but then outside, I don't like it, especially now that it's hot and humid. Whenever I go for my walk, not a fan. When it's cold, then you wear the mask because it keeps your face a little bit warmer, and then you also get to have the sense of smoke superiority. But I don't like it when it's hot. Or when it's hot when there's no one around. Like if there's a bunch of people around, then you probably should.
I'm not going to wear me a mask because I don't want to disrupt God's wonderful breathing machine. You know that.
Yeah, the nose.
Carbon dioxide's bad for you. Don't want to breathe it back in.
Exactly.
It makes you sick. Fucking Jesus.
Listen, I can't hold my breath as long as it takes to wear a mask. Okay?
Man.
It's a hoax.
I think
that's my favorite one. That's my favorite one I like hearing.
Yeah, it's a hoax by the Democrats to get the Republicans out of power.
No, they did it. They did it, though.
Listen, Obama's still in power.
Listen,
you know?
I've seen some convincing Facebook posts. They've told me with the poorest graphical design you can imagine. With spelling...
That it both doesn't stop the virus and becomes full of bacteria and other germs.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Listen, if I just drink alcohol, I'm fine because it gets rid of it.
Oh my god, we've hit the point of Bill Murray and Osmosis Jones.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, that's right. We need to get Niles Crane pills, and we eat them, and then he shoots with his Mega Buster the virus.
I think I've heard every kind of like stupid response you could hear under the sun at my job, and it kind of pisses me off.
What bothers me about it is, and I remember
we can't leave the country.
No, well, but it was. I remember this has come up somewhat organically in a podcast because I keep wanting to talk about this and it never happens. Where when quarantine started, I had the naive assumption that people would want to wear the mask so that things like football and going to restaurants could resume. I naively thought that people wanted to make the virus go away soon so we could resume life. I did not. I underestimated that people just would not care and just want to die more.
They wanted to resume, and they also don't want to be inconvenienced even mildly.
Like that's what I feel like my naivete. But it feels like my naivete of my own, like, I want this thing done, so I wear a mask. You know, like, I feel like I'm trying to say, like my own selfishness is somehow naive. Like, I just want football back. Please wear a mask. It's like, oh, look at you.
So your mistake was thinking that American citizens were smart.
Not even smart. Yeah, I'm just saying that they're self-motivated.
Kevin, your problem is not realizing how selfish they are.
Yeah.
You're not selfish enough.
That's true. Or am I too good of a human? Is this the horrifying realization whenever I went to the anime con and I found out I'm too cool somehow? Yep. Me?
Yep, Kevin.
I'm like, ugh.
Top of the bell curve.
I don't like it. I want to be like, because I've always thought like, nah, I'm always like the lamest person that's ever been. And then you see the guy with the Pinkie Pie body pillow, and you're like, oh no, I'm cool. But it was all. I thought that coolness was some kind of universal like morality, but it's actually relative. It's a relative more coolity.
You forgot there was something under you.
Well, it's just by your surroundings. Like, if you're around a bunch of cool... if I'm around a bunch of normal human beings, I seem like this kind of nightmare human. But if I'm around a bunch of even nightmare humans, I seem somewhat vaguely normal.
Yeah.
Like, hey, that's a pretty cool guy right there.
The other day, I popped the hood of my car and checked the battery to make... And then I cleaned the terminals a little bit. That's more car maintenance than a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I was going for a walk in the park and someone stopped me to ask because they were trying to help someone else jumpstart their car, but they didn't know how to do it, and I had to show them how to hook jumper cables to the battery.
I will say, in random person's defense, hooking up jumper cables to my car is dangerous / stupid. So my Ford Focus apparently, and this is not something you should normally do. However, with the Ford Focus, specifically my year, there's a bunch of stupid little quirks that they were trying that make it horrible. For instance, in this car, you do want to connect red to the red terminal and black to the black terminal on the battery.
Instead of just ground?
Yeah, like you don't ground it to the side of the car. No, because the terminal is grounded or whatever, so you actually connect it to it, which is not what you want to do on 99% of cars. Because I remember, like, when my battery died, my dad and I, we actually had trouble because we hooked it up red, and then we hooked it up to the, and we're like, it wouldn't work. So I had to go on YouTube and find out the video because it was the hero who talked about how my year Ford Focus, there's a bunch of weirdness to it where, like, you got to connect, and how get the battery out, you got to, like, pull up on the thing and then put 2 tabs out and push it because it's real hard to do because they tried to space save it, and not a lot of people know how to do it, so they just break the whole car wherever the battery's held.
So, my biggest beef with jump starting a car is I once had, like, my car was, like, dead in the driveway and was not easily accessible.
Yeah.
And I didn't have long enough jumper cables to reach to another car.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, logically, well, if I just take another set of jumper cables and do red clamp to red clamp and black clamp to black clamp, it'll just be one extra long jumper cable, right? That's how electricity works.
You're not wrong. Like, you're wrong,
but I am wrong.
You are wrong. But to me, this is the kind of logic I think messes humans up the most, which is, like, on paper, you are correct. You're using your inferred knowledge, and you're going, if X works like this, then Y should work like this.
Yeah.
But Y does not work like that. Y does not work like that at all. Was there any sparks and or explosions, or did you just get the nothing?
It's just nothing.
Okay.
Like, the car wouldn't start, so I thought the battery was dead. But then we finally just got a car close enough to do one set of cables, and it came back to life.
Well, you had the good electricity. Electricity has failed electrical has 2 states, and that is nothing or explosion. There is no in between. It's either like, nah, it's nothing, or this will explode and or kill you.
Yeah. Oh, kill you painfully and slowly.
And yes. That's a great picture.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, this will kill you slowly and painfully. You will die, and it will be real bad. Well,
God.
I'll not related to anything. I was just, all right, you go.
It's just like the idea of the electricity is making you clamp and grip tighter so you can't even let go.
Yeah, you're done. You're on there. You're supposed to tackle someone if they're doing that. Like, you gotta hard tackle them.
Yeah, you gotta just throw yourself at them so that way you can't get fucked.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, just because I think we're wrapping up. I like Pat's new puppy, Zangief. It's a very cute puppy. I'm glad that he named his puppy. I'm glad that he named his puppy Zangief because he has the little V in like his chest. It's real cute.
Oh,
that's a good dog.
Yeah.
I can't wait for like 2 years down the road where you see Zangief laying in the middle of the couch with Elmo on top of him.
Oh, of course. I think they said they wanted a dog that looks like that everything in its life was ruined and that their wife took the kids. That was what they wanted. A dog.
Unfortunately, that's a bulldog.
Yeah, well, that's what bulldogs look like. Just going like, yeah. I keep, sometimes I think I want a dog, but I don't. I don't want a dog. They're way too much work.
I always want a dog. I just don't live in a place that'll let me have a dog yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Whenever I moved here, I was like, what if I did get a dog? And so I went to the animal shelter website. And they had a husky that had like recently had one of its eyes removed, like because it had an infection.
Yeah.
And its name was Iris.
Oh.
And I was just like, okay, thank God I have a 20-pound weight limit on pets for this apartment, or I would have a husky right now.
Oh, that's dangerous. Like, I can't, like, I remember it was at a PetSmart, and I was buying, I was having to buy flea medicine for Stinky the cat, and they had the cats there, and I was going, yeah, I'll go look at them, and there's this orange tabby cat. I still remember, this is like 5 years ago. Its name was Prince, and it was really friendly, and it let me pet it, and it was purring, and I was like, oh no, if I didn't have a cat, I would have gotten Prince in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat, because it was really friendly and nice, and it wanted to be pet. It was purring, the big loud purrs, and it kind of had the Garfield coloration. I was like, oh man.
That's why I had to go to the website for the animal shelter.
Yeah,
because if I'd gone in person, I'd be done.
Oh, it's bad. It's real bad. I probably won't get another cat when Stinky dies. Probably.
See, you should, if you're thinking of it anyway, I would suggest you get one before she dies, so that way you have like, you two can mourn together. And it's an easier transition.
Nah, because I kind of... So this is my own selfishness. I kind of want to have, after Stinky dies, sometimes so I don't have to clean up the litter box for a couple months. I want to have that couple months where I don't have to wake up real early and feed the cat, or clean up its poop, or brush it, or vacuum, or do like the little lint roller to get the hair. Like I want a couple months where I'm like, there's no cat. But then once I start to miss those chores, then you get the new cat. But you need
just make sure to get another short-haired one.
Oh, of course. And like go to the animal shelter and there's some big old long-haired cat and its name is like I don't know, Muffin, and then it purrs and it goes meow and I go, well, I guess you're mine now, Muffin, because that's what's gonna happen.
That's such a good cat name.
It is a good. You can see it. You can see what Muffin looks like in your brain, and you see me sitting there, and there's Muffin, and I'm like, well, I have to brush Muffin every day. Stupid cat, and Muffin goes, because that's what it like. Muffin is a long-haired cat, but has that kind of smush face. Like that's what Muffin looks like. Yeah. You can see it. Anyway.
If we're visualizing cats, I want like a Hihachi the cat.
Oh, that'd be pretty good. Cat Hachi. I've already determined that the next pet's name after Stinky will be Smelly. Like, that's the next name. It doesn't matter whatever the animal's it will be smelly.
Alright.
You don't want to do
That's
PU?
what we call our cat.
You call your cat Smelly?
Well, because her name's Shelly.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm like, come here, Smelly.
Well, I mean, I call Stinky many things. Like,
What's Stinky's real name?
I think
Macy.
Yeah, it was Macy. That's right.
I like that you have to think about it.
Well, that's because that's what my sister called her, and then my sister moved, and then when the cat came here, the cat's name is unofficially Stinky. It's now Stinky. So that's like, I'm like, no, whenever I call that cat, I call her Stinky. Sometimes I call her Mr. Kitty. Mr. Kitty sometimes, even though she's a girl. That was from
Stinky,
South Park.
the handy-capable cat.
Yeah, Stinky. So yeah, the next cat official name will be Smelly. Maybe Chairman Meow. I really like Chairman Meow.
I did call my roommate's cat the longest time just Cat.
Cat's a good one.
Because I didn't feel like learning his name. I'm like, get out of here, Cat. And he's like, okay. Come here, Cat. All right.
Okay, so you know how like some people will shorthand PU to Pew?
Yeah.
So you should name her Pew2.
Pew2 is pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. Anyway,
as
a closing thought, before I go, in the comments, put your favorite smell-based cat pet name, and maybe we'll read them.
Or add us on Twitter.
Yeah, that's more likely. Anyway, later days. Bye. I'm waving even though you can't see it.